Samsung probably just made the best move by switching from Tizen OS to Wear OS, and Google just probably made the best move by letting other manufacturers skin Wear OS. But will this be enough to change the outlook for wearables for Android? This is the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4, possibly the best smartwatch for Android users. Perfect. Over the last couple of weeks, I've been using the 44mm version of the Galaxy Watch 4. There's also the classic version, but I opted to go with just the regular Galaxy Watch instead of the classic because I mostly use my smartwatch for working out. So this was a better fit for me. It has a 1.4-inch Super AMOLED always on display, which looks great. I love the size of the screen. It runs Wear OS 3. This is the first smartwatch to run Wear OS 3. And on top of it, it runs the One UI skin. It comes with 16 gigabits of storage. That's a whole lot of storage you can use to save music on this device locally. It comes with 1.5 gigabits of RAM. Should be more than enough to run this UI. And I can say right now, it runs pretty damn good. It has an internal speaker and a microphone that allows you to make calls, take calls, listen to music from the speaker. 361 milliamp battery, wireless charging, and all of this for $250. But if you have a trade-in, an older Samsung watch or Apple Watch or whatever you want to trade in, have a lot of trade-in options, you can knock off pretty much half the price of the watch. I think I got this, the total came out to like $120 or something like that. So you can get a great deal on Samsung website if you use the trade-in options. I really like the design of the Galaxy Watch 4. The round bezel makes it look like a regular watch. The green band gives a nice little pop, but at nighttime, the green just looks black, so it fits really well in with my outfits at nighttime, so it doesn't stand out too much, but in the daytime to give it a nice little pop to it. The 1.2-inch AMOLED display is really nice and bright. Like, if you had any Samsung phone, you know their displays are like really bright, really vibrant, the colors pop. It's the same exact for the Galaxy Watch, and in direct sunlight, it's easily visible. There's no issues when you're trying to use this while I'm running in the hot sun or anything like that. I can see the display like really easily. It's always on display too, so just a quick flip of the wrist, it just lights up, but if it's not looking directly at it, it kind of like dims a little bit. So the display is like, I really look like this screen. The design isn't too different from the previous Galaxy watches, but it's just a little small refinement, just make the watch just look a little bit better than the older ones, especially with the larger bezel. If you use any of the previous Android watches, one of the biggest issues was performance. It's normally really laggy, really buggy. Scrolling, moving through the UI is like just not enjoyable experience. With the Galaxy Watch 4, that is completely changed. The combination of the new processor, One UI, and Wear OS 3, this thing is buttery smooth. Just navigating through the OS, moving, scrolling, opening and closing apps, everything just works really snappy. And then this bezel. The digital bezel is very addictive. Just scrolling through, like sometimes I just catch myself just scrolling through all the apps or scrolling through the different watch faces. It's just like a fidget spinner or something like that, just playing around with the bezel. I mean, and especially after the update, I didn't really think the bezel was like lagging before, but after the update to fix the smoothness of the bezel, it's really just flies just scrolling through with the bezel. Compared to other Android smartwatches, this is like the most like improvement from the previous Wear OSs or the previous Samsung Tizen watches. Performance is 10 times better. The biggest change with Galaxy Watch this year is, of course, the move away from Tizen OS to Wear OS 3. This is the first Android watch to have Wear OS 3, and from my first experience with this, it couldn't be any better of an OS upgrade. This is also the first year that Google allowed the manufacturers to skin Wear OS, and we know from the beginning of Wear OS, Google was completely against any manufacturers adding a skin to Wear OS, similar to how they add a skin to Android, and they had good reasons for that, but I think now was the time. It was the best move for Android. Altogether was just completely on the downslope, and I think this partnership with Samsung just changed the whole outlook of where wearables is heading. Tizen is very similar to Wear OS in a lot of ways, but at the end of the day, it was going to be very hard for Samsung to get app developers to develop apps for Tizen OS. So it was a very good business move for them to go to Wear OS, where it's a much better app support on that side. I did enjoy using Tizen on the Watch Active 2, but I knew there was no way they was gonna ever get enough app support for Tizen, because there just wasn't that many products out there that use Tizen other than the Samsung Galaxy watches. Wear OS still has some room to grow when it comes to app support, but currently there are several apps available, especially my favorite apps is Spotify and the Nike Plus Run app, and that's just because I use my watch mostly for when I'm running. I don't like to run on my phone, so just having those apps on board, it's a really big win for me. Unlike Tizen, Wear OS apps have been getting updated rapidly, like the Spotify app. When this watch first came out, the Spotify app didn't have the ability to download music locally to the watch, but now it does. Also, OS updates. It already seen like one pretty big OS update, which was the update to the digital bezel to allow it to scroll more fluidly. There are still some missing apps that I like to see. For one is a Nest app. And I would also like to see a Tesla app. I know everyone knows got a Tesla. I think having a Tesla app would be great. And there's still some others on the list I would like to see. So Google, if you're listening, Tesla, you listening, bring me those apps. I need those. Being that this is a Samsung watch and not a Google watch, the digital assistants on here is Bixby, and for whatever reason, Samsung just won't let this thing die. I would much rather have Google Assistants on here, but it's not even on there at all. I would like them to be able to push an update to make me be able to switch to Google Assistant other than Bixby, because Bixby for me is completely useless. One of the main reasons I like having a smartwatch is for working out. Being able to connect my Galaxy Buds to this watch very easily is like a huge win, and if I have any other Bluetooth headphones, I can connect the watch directly really easy. The built-in GPS allows me to be able to leave my phone at home and just run strictly with just the watch. And Galaxy Watch itself just packs so many fitness features. I mean, from running, jogging, walking, swimming, doing push-ups, biking. I mean, this thing packs so many fitness options that it's just crazy. Like, I wouldn't even want to see if like someone actually can like use all of them. The new ECG monitoring on the Galaxy Watch 4 is pretty cool. I don't quite understand like all the information it provides, but I'm pretty sure it's helpful to someone. Also, the body composition monitoring, it pretty much tells me, you know, I'm fat and out of shape. I mean, but it provides a lot of in-depth detail, and it's just like surprising that all this information just comes from the watch. It's like really simple to like connect to and like test it out by putting your 2 fingers on the watch, and it runs some kind of something through you and gets all this information, and it's displayed really nicely in the Samsung Health Monitoring app. It's a lot of information and I can't say like how accurate it is because I just don't know. I don't even know what a lot of the stuff it means, but it's a nice to have. You don't have to use all this stuff, but if someone like wanted this information, it is right there. You get it all from your wrist. And I mean, one day, at the rate Apple and Samsung is going with like the fitness option and the health monitor options on your watch, I think it's probably would change the way people look at health for the better. And I think it's easily going to be able to connect with like your doctors and stuff like that and get a lot of stuff very quickly rather than going to like a doctor's office to get this type of information. But like I said, I'm no doctor, I'm no scientist. I'm just a dude that likes tech, and I don't understand a lot of this stuff, but I like the direction that these things are going. Even the focus on like sleep tracking, it's just strange and odd to me that someone like wants to sleep with a watch on to like monitor sleep. I don't even know like all the benefits that knowing how long you're sleeping, how comfortable you're doing sleeping. I just know when I go to sleep, I'm asleep. But I did try it out a few times, and it's interesting. It's to show like when you're like in a deep sleep versus when you're in like a light sleep. From the health monitoring app, it looks like I'm barely ever in a deep sleep, and I think that's pretty accurate. I don't sleep too heavy. But so this watch packs a lot of features, and I use this watch very heavily when working out. But there's a con to all of this, and that's one thing, is the battery life. The battery life itself, without working out, without doing any of that stuff, just wearing a watch, using it for notifications and everything, battery life is really average. I mean, it gives me about a day and a half, which for me it's cool because I put my watch on a charger every night. But I would like to see like a watch last at least a week. It makes sense for a watch to last a week, that you don't have to put it on the charger every night. But we got ways to go with battery life. It's just an issue with phones, watches, everything, especially when you're working out with this watch. A good 2-hour run or just a 2-hour workout, which you have all the monitors, you have the health thing, the blood pressure, all that stuff running for like about a good 2 hours, it kills the battery so fast. Like, it kills the battery really fast. I've noticed. Like, I knocked out in just like a 2-hour workout, I feel like I knocked out like half of my battery. But on the good side of things, it doesn't take that long to charge back up. I would say probably like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. This is like the first watch that can directly go head to head with the Apple Watch. The Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 can go head to head with it, feature for feature, everything. And it's an interesting time, especially if the Pixel Watch becomes a thing. So I'm happy to see that Google was able to recover wearables for Android with watchOS 3, because I thought it was another failed Google product. But I think the future is bright for Wear OS, and I'm ready to see what's coming next. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Joe, and this was another Joe Tech Talk. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one.